Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
I promise you, this is not a political podcast.
Jump from the deep end of the pool, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. 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 Set up the mood.
Oh yeah. I love that fucking new intro song. That shit gets me going. I feel like I'm dancing tango merengue salsa. All right, ladies and gentlemen, testicles 1, 2, testicles. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Paranoid Radio Podcast. Hey. I am Trebles Garcia, the host of this amazing adventure, and I want to thank every single one of you for being here today. I want to thank the Lord for allowing me to be here, and I want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to enter your space. Do not forget to check us out at paranoidradio.com. Paranoidradio.com. Cop up some of the t-shirts. Hope you guys are enjoying the new intro. Yeah, it's brand new. I was cooking it up for special events, but man, every episode is a fucking special event. So this is how we do. This is how we handle business. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, also, the .com, the website has a facelift. So make sure you check it out at www.paranoidradio.com. And do not forget to drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify or anywhere you're listening to this podcast. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Now, striking with iron is hot and jumping from the deep end of the pool to set the mood. Oh, yeah. Allow us to blow your fucking mind. I am introducing co-host, business owner, father, patriot, all the way from the East Coast, the lion, the dismantler, the destroyer of fantasies. Flash for Flashy_News1.
Reporting for duty, sir. This one goes out to all the black. This one goes out to all the black pillars. Listen up, you might learn something.
Oh, yo, shots fired. Oh, fuck. Everybody, please, Flash, let them know where they can find you before anything. What's popping, dog?
Yeah, man. I'm over on Instagram, still shadow banned, but you can find me. Flashy_News1. You just have to type it all out. It won't autofill. And over on X, still Flashy_NewsX. And as a backup, Truths, Flashy_Truths on Truth Social. Let's go.
Guys, this is called the Death Spiral, and we're going to jump right into it because there's a lot to talk about. The Trump assassination case update. Let's go. What you got?
Oh, man. So there's just so much more information coming out now. So they've already done 2 congressional hearings. The House held a congressional hearing where they put under oath the head of the Secret Service was that woman. I forgot her name, but she resigned. We finally got her to resign. Finally, both. You know what? And I'm going to give some credit to the Democrats here. You may never hear me say this ever again, but they were actually asking the correct questions during these hearings. You know, a lot of the times we see it so partisan that the Republicans are asking one kind of question, and the Democrats are completely on the opposite end of the spectrum, and they don't, I mean, a few of them blame the gun. There's too many AR-15s. It's the AR-15's fault. But a lot of them are like, listen, man, this is crazy. This cannot happen in this country. You know, the Secret Service is supposed to be this pristine thing where, their goal is never to fail about anything, and so they really ripped this woman up, and deservingly so. She sat there. She lied her ass off. She said that, that they didn't see the crooks on the roof when there's freaking video of crooks on the roof. If people at the rally saw him, how did not the sniper team see him that was across the other roof, right? So she got caught. So she resigned. Now the guy who took over her spot, I think his name is Rooks. He's a man, white man. Mm-hmm. He gave his testimony in front of the Senate. And now the more questions that come up, the less questions are answered. That's how you know there's a cover up here, right? Because now it's been 19, almost 20 days. And no new information has come out, right? All we know about the shooter is that he was a loner, supposedly. He was 20 years old, lived with his parents, right? But now there's conflicting reports. So at first they said his house, the kid's house, was a mess. They said it was a hoarder's nightmare is what they said, right? Complete opposite of clean. Now they're saying that the kid's room was so clean, almost like a hospital clean. Like the shit has been bleached down. No silverware, no plates, no nothing. Somebody got in this kid's house and cleaned the shit out of it, right? But most importantly, the Heritage Foundation did something with the data, right? You can get people's phones and, kind of like what they did with January 6th and what we did with the 2,000 mules, right? If it's good enough to go fucking after the January 6ers, then it's good enough to prove whatever we're trying to prove now. Right?
Exactly. Yes.
Right. So they use that. Now they tracked someone's phone that was going to this kid's house and to his job. He worked at a nursing home, this Crooks kid, the shooter, right? So someone with this same phone was showing up at this kid's house 9 or 10 times before the rally and the months leading up to it. Also was checking in on him at his job, right? And then that same phone flew back to Washington, D.C. and was going in and out of the building that's right next to the FBI building.
By the way, this is public knowledge.
Yes.
This is on your news flash. This is on your news mainstream media channel. Look it up. Stop pretending this shit's not happening. About it.
There we go. All over and they're forced to see. The thing was is that so many people recorded this shit on their phone, right? And it was live streamed on the television, right? We talked about that. The only fucking rally that was live streamed in the last 100 rallies, right? Interesting. So we have all of these different angles of the situation, right? Now, some people are saying that there was a second shooter on the water tower. I haven't seen any confirmation of that, but if you break down the sounds of the shots, it sure sounds like there's 3 different guns firing. Crooks, the sniper team firing back, and then another one that sounded like it was coming from inside because the muzzle was you couldn't really hear it as well.
Oh shit!
Right. So the only way that any of this could happen, though, is if the Secret Service allowed it to happen. Because if you look at how they set it up until they were offered a drone by the local police department, the Butler Police Department in Philadelphia. They said, "Listen, you want to use our drone to check everything out, right before no, we're good. Secret Service.
Why wouldn't you?
We don't need it.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Exactly, right. Then they said their excuse for not using the drone, though, was that they had internet problems. Oh, but Crooks, the fucking shooter, drove his own drone the day before. So the internet was good for his fucking cheap-ass drone, but the Secret Service of the $4 billion fucking, they spend a year, they couldn't get a drone that, come on, bro. It was either a perfect mistakes happened to allow this to happen, or it was allowed to happen. It's not that crazy. We're at the point of the movie now where this isn't that crazy that there was a conspiracy to let it happen.
Conspiracy head going crazy here. I'm just gonna add and amplify something that you said back in the courtroom. Of course, the Democrats are gonna attack, because if they don't attack, it's gonna look like as if they were involved. I'm sorry to say, but they're just playing the fucking card of, oh yeah, you can't be doing that. This can't happen in this country. This, why? Oh, because they're covering it up. They're playing the game, of course.
100%. And it's just becoming so obvious, and they don't know how to put this genie back in the bottle, of this conspiracy that's going wild now. Because now even people on the other side are saying that it was a setup, that Trump didn't actually get shot, that he had a blood pill and he had to put it in his ear, and this is it. See, the thing about though is,
okay,
if it was a setup, you don't actually try to shoot the principle of the setup, right? You would shoot around him. You wouldn't take the chance of actually shooting the person that set up the whole fucking thing. Where this guy's such a good marksman that he fucking was able to put the bullet through his ear. No, it's ridiculous. Obviously but it was a setup. You're half right. It was a setup against Trump. Not that Trump was a part of it. Ridiculous to even suggest it. So
Wesley Snipes couldn't snipe that good, dog.
Come on, bro. And nobody, you know what I mean? And there's a couple Republican congressmen that were actually snipers in the Navy SEALs. And they're saying that they're not now. So now Speaker Johnson is opening an investigation. He's going to use the House investigation tools to actually look at, he's going to start a little committee, like how the January 6th had a committee. We're going to get a committee now. And we're going to get to the bottom of it. Probably not. But all we really need to do is highlight how much the government is willing to lie. They're willing to lie about. And now look at the media. The media just completely ran away with this. You don't even hear about it anymore. All you hear about is that, they're censoring it on Facebook. They're censoring it on Google. They took misinformation.
They took the most they could juice out of it because the ratings were up. And then now that they fucking milked the shit out of it, they're fucking looking at Megan Thee Stallion shake some ass at a fucking campaign, a presidential campaigns stage. And then they deleted it off of Google. If you try to Google assassination attempt on Donald Trump, it would give you every option. You know how it gives you the AI fast track links? It'll give you I tried it in many different on many computers here in California, even on my phone. It'll give you different options except the Donald Trump assassination attempt. Unless you press enter and then it'll pop it up. How crazy, bro. Fucking ridiculous, bro.
It's crazy, bro. So, we don't have to spend too much time on this because there's a lot of information. A lot of people are talking about it. I just wanted to give a quick little synopsis of what's going on, if there was a shooter or not.
There's more prisoner swap. Prisoner swap
Oh yeah.
within U.S. and Russia? Hit me, dog.
So interesting timing, right? So now Whalen, who was the Marine that everybody was mad that didn't come home with Brittany Griner. Remember when Brittany Griner, the WNBA player, we traded one of the world's worst terrorists and arms dealers.
Don't ever forget that shit.
Right. Don't ever forget that, because this guy Whalen
and she hates the U.S.
years ago. Right, exactly. She doesn't stand for the fucking anthem. She's a dude, whatever. We all know, right? So, but the crazy thing is that we got her back, and we traded one of the biggest bargaining chips that we had with Russia, which was their arms dealer, right? This guy is like the dog of war, bro. This guy is like one of the worst terrorists there is, right? So we gave him up. Now there's a Washington Post journalist who was being held in Russian jail. Now Putin said that this guy was spying for the United States, which is probably true. Because what happens is we send journalists over to Russia acting like they're just journalists, right? But what they're doing is they're acquiring intelligence and sending it back to the CIA and the FBI. They meet other journalists there. They do their little thing. So I'm sure Putin, but also Putin understands something, that if he can grab an American that has high profile, that's a journalist, right? And gets in the news, he's going to put pressure on us to swap him, right? And now he can get who he wants. See, the thing about the swap is we haven't been told who we gave up to get these two people back. So we got the Marine Whalen, who was supposed to come back years ago, got him back. And we got this Washington Post journalist back. Great. Awesome. I'm all for it. We want our American people home. But what did we have to do to get it? Right? Because right now, Putin is in a very strong position because he's in the war with Ukraine. We want him to stop doing that. Right? So it's just interesting timing. Right? And then so we're going to bring another topic into this because it ties together. So the 9/11 terrorists, right? Everybody remembers the Sheikh Mohammed, who supposedly planned 9/11. I don't particularly think he did, but that's for another time, another place. So supposedly he's been sitting in Guantanamo Bay this whole time, right? He just this was yesterday, he just made a deal with the Biden administration to avoid the death penalty. We are giving this fucking guy a pass, and we're going to let him live off the American taxpayer dollar, right? He's probably going to get a free ride out of here and to go home. Now, they did this yesterday. It got such bad publicity, right? Because we're letting the 9/11 guy fucking go free. So then the next day they do this swap with Russia to try to get rid of that story and to make it look like Biden is a patriot and he's bringing our troops home and he's doing all these great things because they want to ignore the fact that we just let off the 9/11 hijacker without the death penalty.
And I'm trying to refrain to using the F-bombs here. And I'm doing a really good job, guys. Trying to blow we're going to blow this thing up. Yo, we are letting the 9/11 planner, the terrorist that killed over 3,000 people on 9/11, live off our money.
Yep.
It's a movie. This is a movie.
Yep. And see, there you go, right? Because now we all know that it was an inside job, right? I mean, that's just what it is, right? So this guy's obviously a fall guy.
That's
right. But a lot of these guys were working for the CIA and the FBI. Osama bin Laden was a CIA asset. Yeah, everybody knows that that's a truther. You know what I mean? So all of this shit. So they probably made a deal with this guy because they had to, because he really didn't do it. You know what I mean? But but just look at the timing of it, right? So as soon as they do that, the next day they make this big prisoner swap to bring home Whalen, which they should have brought home a while ago. Why would they wait this whole time? Why now? Why all of a sudden we were able to bring these guys home now? That means they could have done this at any time. That means that this could have been done so they waited until it was politically convenient for them, right? To switch the story of fucking letting off the 9/11 hijacker. Oh, look, we're bringing our guys home. This and this. Listen, I want to know what we gave up to get those guys home, because I'm sure Putin raped Biden 100%.
Physically and mentally and morally, for sure. I don't think Biden felt a thing because he's fucking numb from the neck down. Anyway, exactly. Another inside job that I think the United States government has a lot to do with, just my personal opinion, is the Venezuela. No, I'm not trying to talk shit about the Venezuelans here. I'm just going to say this real quick, bro. I know you have a lot of information that you're just going to tie into the political government sphere, but I have to say this right now. Yeah. Look, for all these Venezuelans out here, if you guys are listening to the show, this is a shot directly to you. This is a shot. This is a shot. Yo, why would you don't protest on our streets? Don't wave your flag out here. Don't be fucking creating ruckus here. When you want to be a patriot, you weren't patient enough to stay in your own fucking your own street to take your own fucking country back. Shove that shit up your ass. Thank you. Anyway.
Facts.
How to say it.
You're gonna fight for our country, but you wouldn't fight for your own. Yeah. That's selfish.
And you want
right?
to fight over here and create havoc here. You can't be doing that shit.
Right? No, absolutely not. And Venezuela, interestingly enough, their murder rate has dropped 71% in the last 3 years since Biden took office, because I'm sure Joe Biden made a deal with Maduro to send all of his criminals here. And in return, we took the sanctions off of Maduro, right, off of the oil. And the deal was, right, so we took the sanctions off Maduro. The Biden administration did. Trump put them on. They took them back off. And the deal was, right, is that if we gave Maduro back his chief money launderer, the guy that launders the money for them, and his two nephews, who are the biggest drug dealers in Venezuela. Venezuela is a narco state. We all know that, right? They're run by cocaine, and Maduro is a dictator. We all know this. He's a drug dealer. He kills his own people. Blah, blah,
Communist,
blah.
yep.
Right. So the Biden administration made a deal with the devil. They said, listen, we'll give you your two nephews back and your chief money launderer as long as you promise to have free and fair elections. And Maduro said, sure, buddy, we'll have free and fair elections. Give me back my guys, right? So he took his guys back, and then a couple months later, here are the fucking elections. Were they free and fair? Absolutely not. In the meantime, in the last 2 years, Maduro has made more money because we took the sanctions off his oil, right? We took the sanctions off. We've been buying oil from Venezuela. They're dirty, dirty oil that they have that they don't know how to refine. It's garbage, right? So then now this guy's in power. So now he feels like he can do all this shit. So fast forward to the elections, right? A couple of days ago. What happened? Maduro was getting his ass kicked. 71% of the vote was for the other guy, right? For the capitalist, anti-communist, right? So What did he do? Stop the counting. He sent the fucking troops with the guns to the voting machines to literally stop people from voting. This is the deal, the person that Biden made a deal with, right? So now, of course, there wasn't free and fair elections, but this guy already got what he wanted.
They closed the fucking border so other Venezuelans wouldn't come back in to vote.
Right.
Borders started going on river, crossing the river with their boats, dude. Talk about.
And this is the thing about communism, right? And socialism. You can vote your way into socialism, but you're going to have to fight your way out of it. And that's exactly where we are right now, bro. And I pray for those people, because there's a lot of freedom-loving, liberty-loving people out there, right?
Yeah,
living under this thumb of this Maduro guy. So, and now Maduro was claiming that Elon Musk is helping, people. And
get out!
He wants to fight. He said he wants to fight Elon Musk. He said that. He said he challenged Elon Musk to a fight.
He is a dying. He's a dwarf. He's a dying fucking star in Venezuela.
Yep.
He has nothing else to say but just be fucking. He's just flashy and drama. It's a fucking soap opera, bro. Fuck that guy. Yeah, and talking about fighting, because we got some topics to go through. Superior Court, Biden's new plan. Whoa,
oh boy,
whoa! Here we go.
And you know what? What's funny is that this is what Maduro did when he took over. He radically transformed the Supreme Court in Venezuela. They only had 10 Supreme Courts. They added 14. So now they have 24 Supreme Court members, because he wasn't liking the rulings that were coming out of the Supreme Court. Exactly what Joe Biden is. So just because they don't like the rulings that the Supreme Court is coming out with, because we have a majority conservative. And when they say a MAGA court or a Trump appointed, all they really mean is judges that follow the Constitution. You got two types of judges, right? You got your originalists, your constitutionalists that interpret the Constitution as written, as it says. Then you have your liberal justices that interpret it through their ideology and their feelings, right? Because they feel like this is a bad law, or they feel like this person. That's not how you run a country. That's how you lose a country really, really quick, right? Because if we're just going to put a judge up there that can just go willy-nilly, however they're feeling that day, no, we need some kind of system where everything is by the book, right? We have a fucking constitution. We have laws that are written, that were passed by Congress, that we all agreed on, right? So now that's what they deem as radical. They're saying that the court now is radical because Trump, under God's grace, was able to appoint 3 Supreme Court judges in one term, which is unheard of, right? So now, because the only way you get to appoint a Supreme Court judge is because they have a lifetime appointment, is if they retire or if they die. That's it, right? It just so happened that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died while Trump was president, and 2 other of them retired. So now it's a 6-3 majority conservative, right? So instead of actually making laws that are constitutional, Joe Biden is just going to try to revamp the whole court so he can get past all this radical bullshit. But it's not going to work, though, because the Democrats no longer have the political capital to make something like this happen. This is only something you can do when you have a mandate from the majority of the American people. That's what they don't have. So what they're doing is this is a political game in an election year. This is never going to get passed. They have to go through Congress. Mike Johnson said it's already dead on arrival, the bill. So what Biden wants to do is he wants to not add Supreme Court judges, but he wants to make term limits. right? Because Supreme, like I said, is a full term till you're dead or you retire.
Now you wanna add term
exactly.
limit.
Exactly, bro.
No,
These
please.
people, bro, if they weren't hypocrites, they wouldn't be anything at all, bro. So now Congress, who has an 18% approval rating from the American public, wants to try to regulate the judicial branch, which we live in a 3 separate powers, right? We have 3 branches of government. You have your legislative, which is Congress. You have your judicial, which is the courts. You have your executive, which is the presidency. 3 equal and separate powers. One cannot regulate the other. So what Biden is trying to do is trying to use the executive branch to put pressure on the legislative branch to try and reform the judicial branch. That's fucking communism. Okay, this is how you do it, right? So, but he doesn't understand that he has no political capital. It's dead on arrival. As soon as that shit hits Mike Johnson in the House, it's dead. But this just shows you where these people's brains are at. If they can't win by the rules, they'll just change the rules. But they lost the public opinion on the way. They're done.
You said 2 things right here. You said no brains, and you said dead on arrival. 2 things that are going to help me pivot to the next part of the conversation. Fake Kamala, camel toe, camel talk, whatever you want to call her, fake hype. She's dead on arrival, and it only takes 2 brain cells to rub together, to find out what kind of fuckery she's giving you.
Bro, we are not up against a candidate. We are up against a machine. And Kamala Harris is proving that. Everybody agreed 3 weeks ago that she was number 1, the most unliked, unpopular vice president in history. That's just what it's been.
That was also on mainstream media. That was not. This is not Flash and Trebles making it up on Paranoid Radio. This is not only our podcast.
They were talking about him having to change out Kamala if Biden was going to run again. He was going to have to. They were talking about changing out her before they were talking about changing out Biden. That's been the conversation for the last 3 years because she can't go off script. If she's not reading from a teleprompter, she's finished. She has no lifetime accomplishments, right? Now she's an Indian American. Now she's a Black American. And Trump called that shit out yesterday at the fucking at the Black Journalist Conference. Trump walked into the lion's den of the Black Journalist Conference, right? Kamala Harris didn't show up. Trump went there and gave him the fucking business. They were trying to fucking catch him in all these shit. And he was like, listen. And the girl asked him, she was like, so how do you feel about Kamala being the first Black president? He was like, is she Black? I've known Kamala a long time. I had no idea she was Black. This is what he said, bro. He was like, for her whole life, she was Indian. Her whole life, she left the father. The father left. She was raised by her Indian mother. Right now, there's all these pictures of her being Indian with all this Indian stuff. Trump straight up called that shit out, bro. He was like, I didn't even know she was Black. Now all of a sudden she's Black. Tomorrow she's gonna be Indian. Tomorrow she's gonna be. It just shows you how these people have no morals. These people. So Kamala Harris had a fucking rally, right? They're trying to do Trump rallies, right? Now all this fake hype that we're seeing, all these fake poll numbers. All of a sudden she's the best thing since sliced bread. All of a sudden she's an amazing politician. This
is what is called the fine-tuned propaganda war machine.
Exactly.
This is what it is. This is part of the military complex.
This is what they're good at, right? But see, this is the thing. They fucked up because we have done such a good job of exposing the whole game with Donald Trump.
Digital warriors, bro. I'm telling you. Digital warriors. Bro. God. Do you know how many people have woken up here, bro? Dude, like, even word of mouth. Doesn't take, like, on Instagram, you can reach more people. But when you see the face expression of somebody seeing it and you're telling them the facts, like you're telling them, yo, she ain't Black, though. Yo, she's pandering. Yo, Megan Thee Stallion, bro, on a stage.
Exactly, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
Flag. That's a fucking transsexual gorilla dancing on a fucking campaign. That's for the presidential campaign. Like, what?
Let's go. So true, bro. Listen, and you know, the hoes are for Kamala because Kamala proved that you can sleep your way to the top. This woman was an absolute nobody. She literally slept her way to the top with a man named Willie Brown.
I would respect
her way to the top.
I would respect Kamala Harris if she opened a fucking OnlyFans. It's not a bad idea, bitch. Sorry. It's not a bad idea.
Yo, she might do well with that. See, but this is the thing. So now they're going to use Hollywood, like we talked about on this podcast many times, that they're going to bring out Kendrick Lamar, all these fucking people.
I'm waiting for that one. I'm prepping the stage for an episode, and it's going to be called "Fuck Kendrick." I'm telling you right now, 100%. You're coming on. This is going to be only on him. And I shouldn't be saying it, but boy, if you think it's going to happen, he's going to get on the convention.
I mean, he might, bro. They're going to pull out all the stops, but we have done such a good job of exposing Hollywood, right? The pedophiles, the fucking molesters, all of these people. You know what? You can have them. We got the truckers. We got the farmers. We got the middle-class American. We got
ones that matter.
The truth. We got God. We got sanity. We got common sense. So they can have all this shit. It's not gonna. We're in the honeymoon phase of Kamala
I've
Harris.
said this. Yeah, I've said this on the show with Tank when we were breaking down the Drake and Kendrick beef. And I went like, yo, you cannot talk about pedophiles when you're going to be supporting pedophiles. 85,000 kids were lost in the border crisis when Kamala was taking care of that shit or not taking care of that shit. And you're going to be on a fucking stage saying, not like us, when you talked about Drake, but you're supporting Kamala? Dude, no, look, I'm gonna come off a little racist, but fuck that shit, bro. This is people from my countries, and people from my family that are fucking suffering. Kids that are separated, lost, being fucking stuffed and shit. I'm talking about rape, bro. These are also kids. You can't pick and choose who's a pedophile, bro. You can't do that, bro. So you're gonna be on the stage doing that shit. It's game over for you, Kendrick. I'm telling you right now.
And that's the thing is that they just showed. So they paid Megan Thee Stallion to be there just so people would show up in Atlanta, Georgia, right? And as soon as she took the stage, people started leaving. As soon as Kamala Harris took the stage, started talking. So people only showed up to watch Megan Thee Stallion. And you know what the difference is? Donald Trump doesn't need rappers and celebrities because he is the fucking rock star. People come to see him. He sells out arenas. He doesn't need to pay somebody to sell out the arena. People show up to see him talk for hours. That's the difference. This is fake manufactured hype. Fake hype. And then we're in the honeymoon stage and it's all gonna come crashing down.
I like the way you put that. And just put it like this, guys. If you guys are voting for an American president, the American president campaign nominee should at least speak about America in their opening songs and statements. It shouldn't be about ass and hips and accepting your body. That's not the biggest issue here. This is about America. All the problems, not just a fucking fat gorilla dancing on stage. Sorry.
Crazy, bro.
All right. So we got more points to go. I got a little emotional there. Fuck that shit. All right. Lines have never been clearer, and black pills. End it off, bro. What you got?
So the lines of that's a good segue from Kamala because we're seeing it now, right? Who's on whose side? The lines have never been clear. Who do they have? They have the elites. They have the billionaires. They have the Bill Gates. They have all of these people, right? The people that are literally trying to change everything. They change the way we breathe air, right? Everything, right? So we have the farmers, the hardworking Americans, right? So the lines have never been clear. Are you for America or are you against America? That's really it. And Americans, right? There's only one side that's promoting transgenders in sports, right? We just watched the Olympics where a man beat the shit out of a woman in boxing. Right, so now we're seeing the real life.
Wait, that happened in the Olympics?
Yeah,
I haven't been keeping up.
For Algeria, I think it was an Algerian man who was identifying as a woman, was in the boxing match under women, and he beat up
under the Olympics. But the Olympics is made out of
the Olympics, bro. In the Olympics, okay. And there was an Italian woman. 46 seconds she lasted. She took 3 punches and she quit. She quit because she'd never been punched so hard in her life. She said she started crying. She was so embarrassed. This is where we're at. So this is the side you're on. This is what I'm saying. The lines have never been clear. It's not just about. This is so much more than just the policy positions too. It's like, what kind of world do you want to live in? Do you want to live in a world where there's no?
That would mean that guys the people organizing the Olympics. Sorry for cut you off. The people organizing the Olympics would be also pandering to that shit. Also opening doors to that shit.
And we've seen the opening Olympic ceremony, right? So, I mean, they're telling us right there what these people are about. Transgenders making fun of the fucking Last Supper and Jesus Christ and all this shit, bro. It's crazy. They would never make fun of the Prophet Muhammad, because they knew Muslims would burn that shit down, bro.
They would blow up you and your family along with their family in a split second. I'm not talking shit. That's just fact. They would blow that shit up. Yeah, I know that.
They don't play with that shit, bro. And and they always attack what's true, and Jesus Christ is true.
So that's also true. Word.
That's just a reaffirming that follow Christ. Christ is king. 100%.
Oh, good, man. All right. And then the black pills. Give it to him, dog. You open it up, you got to end it. This is it.
So listen, man. It's interesting because Instagram is pushing out these black pills to my suggestions, right, on my feed. And I don't know why they would do that, because they're trying to separate our movement, the MAGA movement, right? With all of these.
Get us confused. It's happening. It does a lot of people getting confused.
Like, and for Venezuela as an example, so I seen a black pill account say, Trump didn't say anything about the Venezuela elections for the first day. I think it was like 1 or 2 days. He didn't comment on it. So all the black pills account got on top of it. Oh, he's not going to say nothing about it because Maduro is controlled by the same people Trump is controlled by. It's all the Zionist world takeover, all this shit, right? Literally a half an hour later, Trump puts out a fiery ass statement about Venezuela. And he actually blew the whistle on the whole shit, how the Biden administration made a deal with Maduro to release his 2 nephews and the money launderer to get Maduro to have free and fair elections. He called out the whole shit. So now what? That just completely explodes their whole theory, right? Because if that was true and Trump didn't say anything, it would be for a reason, right? So now he said something. So now what? Now they're going to move the goalposts and say, oh, well, he said something because of this and that. Listen, I've said it so many times because it's true. Trump is a strategist. Israel is the key to peace in the Middle East, and peace is the goal. These black pill accounts have to keep this going, right? They come up with this new theory, and then they say, oh, if you take MAGA and gematria and you add 7 and subtract 2, all this crazy shit just to justify their black pill, right? Yeah. Not once do they ever consider maybe Trump is exactly who he says he is. Because if you have to ignore 80% of the evidence to bolster your confirmed bias, then you're not in the winning message here.
No, you're emotional.
I can prove my point like this, with facts, with evidence, with actions that Trump did, not just what he says, what he did while he was president. He was actually already president before. People forget that, right? So we don't have to assume what he might do. We know what his agenda is. And Trump is not our savior. He's going to put us in the best position to save ourselves through policy. That is all we can ask for from a president or any elected official. Not to save us, but to put us in the best position to save ourselves. He's our fucking bullhorn, not our savior.
Word. I think sometimes people are too comfortable, that they're just tired of being comfortable and privileged, that they want chaos. And that's what it is. They're miserable.
They got to stay relevant. They got to stay relevant too. They got to get the following. They got to get the clicks. That shit it's an addiction, right? When you start these accounts, I'm part of it too. I always look for the next thing to get to the people, right? But these people have to justify this theory that they came up with. So they're going to ignore all of the things that may tell them they're wrong. And they're going to jump on the little tiny things that can confirm their already inherited bias. That's just what it is, bro. So be careful who you follow, right? Because there's a lot of black pills out there. And this is going to be a really tough time for us because, like I said, we're in the honeymoon phase of Kamala, right? So it's going to be hyped. They're going to attack Trump even more. They're going to say she's the greatest thing. But listen, they did the same shit with Biden and it wore off. People are hip to the game now. Nobody's watching the news. Everybody's on social media. And you know what? MAGA, we run the internet. They got the news. We got the internet. I like our chances.
Oh yeah, and we all know that the internet's king, bro. Internet when Jesus also put internet is like, that's because we're all there. And I gotta give props to every single person that's a digital soldier out here. We don't take shit from no one. Dude, I seen people on the comment section where like one person says something stupid, they go at them, dog. Like that's right. The patrons are there just fucking dash, So I also seen a scenario where you got into a heated comment section with another collaborator that we had on, and yeah, man, you could tell that people will get heated really fast, and you get a lot of support and also a lot of enemies through there. So
I mean, that's why I offered to have a debate because I would love to just get our ideas and not necessarily try to change anybody's mind, but just to see the perspective. Because if you're going to post something that's making fun of the whole movement, right, be prepared to back that up. Because I'm someone that's in this movement, but I got my ducks in a row and I know my facts. So I'm not just going to let something like that slide. If you want to step up to the mic.
Hey, quite frankly, if anybody's listening to this might even help your account grow a little bit more. You never know. You probably get more clicks if that's what you guys want to.
If that's what it's about for you, then cool.
Let's get the debate going. Yo, Flash, let them know where they can find you one more time.
Yeah, man. Flashy_news1 on Instagram, Flashy_newsx on X, and Flashy_truths on Truths. And just in closing, guys, like I said, man, these next couple of months, you're never going to see anything like it. We're already seeing the machine in full swing, but now they're desperate, right? We're getting real close to the election. I think we're like 97 days away. Get ready for that. Yeah. Trust your instincts. You know what's true. Try to wake up as many people as you can. But now we're at the point now, it's going to come down to one thing. Did we wake up enough people from 2020 to 2024? And everything out there is saying that we did. So don't be fooled by the same propaganda, by the same fake polls. They want you angry. They want us violent. They want us fighting. Don't give them what they want. We got this. Patience and persistence.
Bam. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think also the next, the black murder is going to happen. Cop killing a black murder. I think something like that's going to happen soon. Oh, yeah. I think that's the next step. I'm pretty sure.
100%.
All right, big dog. That is right. Ladies and gentlemen, check us out at paranoidradio.com. You can find him at Flashy_news1 on Instagram. Make sure you check him out. And this is Flashy Friday. Big Flash. Thank you so much for being here today, bro. See you guys. Drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, ladies and gentlemen, and on Spotify. It allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy me.
Paranoid Radio.